Hey everybody, this is Paul with CDA. Going to go ahead and show you how to run a report so you can find out where all your parts are that still are on the schedule. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to reports, and what we're going to do then is we're going to say work order reports. We're going to go all the way down here where it says, hey CDA, run a report that shows me parts assigned to the schedule. So all we're going to do is we're going to click on that, and it's going to open up this big window filled with a lot of information. So what we're going to do is we're just going to start from the top. We're going to go through all this information. We're going to go through the columns. We're going to do a right click on an item. We'll submit, and we'll do a few exports, and we'll show you everything that you can do with this report. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing we can do is we can just do a search if we wanted to by default that are in 30-day brackets or increments. Or what we can do, we can pick any date range we want, but for our report, what we're going to do is we're just going to break it down into a 1-day range so that our report is a little easier to read. So that's the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to say, hey, show me a 1-day date range. Then the next thing we can do, we can filter it by tech. We can say, hey, I just want to do it by a tech, this tech. And then if you wanted to, you can even further say, you know what, I just want to filter it by an in-house substatus of 000 as well. So what it means is we're only going to show you in-house substatus of 000 that's assigned to this tech that's within this 1-day date range from the 8th to the 9th. And if you wanted to, you could even further break it down by saying that have a tracking status of these codes. We won't do that. Then what you could do is you can say, show me this tech that has just unused parts in this substatus. That's certainly one way you could do it. So this is really drilling it down, as they say. But the way what we would probably want you to do it to make sure you're not losing any money is you would set your substatus to nothing. You would set your techs to all. So we're getting the biggest range, which is show me everything. Then it says leave blank to include all. We would leave everything blank, but if we wanted to, of course, we could say, hey, show me a report that's just cores only. Show me something that's just in transit. Lots of flexibility. You can click multiples. But again, for our purposes and for our demo, we're going to say, hey, CDA report, show me everything. Then all we're going to do is we're simply going to say run. Okay, so what we've done is we see the report ran, and what you see is that there's 194 parts were found out of 92 claims. So that's what that means. And then what can happen is we have all these columns. If I was to click on any of these columns, the sort order would ascend and descend. But for the purpose of our demo, I'm just going to keep it nice and neat, and I'm just going to read across. So we see this is the date, this is the tech the part is assigned to, this is the claim number, this is the customer's last name, this is the in-house substatus that that part is currently assigned to with that claim, this is the quantity, you see a couple of 2s, this is the part number, more importantly, this is the part status that reflects in what's available for the statuses up here. So we can see awaiting pickup, allocated, and things of that nature. We have core returns, so there's a core return. If we wanted to just see core returns, of course, we could have said, just show me that, and it just would have been a core report. Returned, we can see we have our vendors, we have our vendor invoice, we have our tracking, and then right here, this says tracking location. It's really the shelf location that this part originally came from. And then over here, it says tracking status code. What in the world does AC mean? All you do here is click on this handy dandy legend, and then all the different codes that you see here that you may not have memorized yet, you can see what their legend is and what each of them mean. So that's how that works. And then what we can do is we can right click. We can say, hey, show me the vendor invoice. There's our vendor invoice with all the pertinent information. Next thing we can do is we could say, hey, show me tracking information. And this is a big win right here, because as soon as I say, show me tracking information, I can then change the status of what I need it to be. So let's just say I want to say, let's reassign it to an inventory. Let's say we wanted it to be filled scrap, whatever is going to be the necessary treatment of this part needs to be, you can immediately do it just from here. So that's pretty powerful. And then of course, last but not least, you could go ahead and show me, say, hey, show me this claim. And what we'll do is we'll go ahead and do that. And then you can see I went ahead and clicked just for the part, and here's all the part information, and we can do whatever we wanted with this claim. So lots of important features with saying, hey, show me the claim information. The next thing we can do is we can go ahead and click on the export to Excel. So we'd click on that. This is the full report. And then of course we could just come over here, say filter, and then of course we would go to part status, and then we could just start filtering out if we wanted to. So lots of valuable information here. We could even stick it in a pivot table if we wanted to. And then the next thing we could do, of course, is we could click here and we can say, show me the PDF for maybe an executive. We'd run that PDF. Here is exactly what the PDF looks like. So again, you can give that to inventory person or some type of executive in the company that would need this type of information. You could even scan barcodes as well. So again, the report we ran was from the reports menu, work orders, parts assigned to scheduled jobs. So that will conclude today's video.